A young woman from Ohio named Julia always knew her mum's used a sperm donor, but she only recently discovered that she had at least 19 siblings, and she's still counting. Julia has since embarked on a journey to meet them all, a process that has led her to completely redefine the very idea of family. The BBC's Hannah Long-Higgins tells her amazing story in a new BBC documentary. It's called My Very Extended Family, and here's a look.
My mom is about to meet my dad for the first time.
I grew up with two moms, Kathleen and Betsy, and I really don't miss having a dad because they both completed a different area of me.
This is the family.
I always knew that I was donor conceived.
We were imagining you 18 years from now meeting this guy, and we wanted you to like him.
I don't think I ever imagined that there could be so many siblings. I thought maybe if I'm lucky I'll find one or two. I think we're still trying to feel around and figure out how we're family. It's completely uncharted territory.
Well, as I mentioned, Hannah Long-Higgins filmed and edited Julia's story, and I spoke to her just a little while ago. Hannah, thanks for joining us. Just put us in the picture as to what the rules are for people like Julia when they want to track down the donor and also their siblings.
It depends on the situation, but in Julia's case, she grew up knowing that her mothers had used a sperm donor, and her mothers intentionally chose to use what's called a known donor program. And that means when the child turns 18, they have the option to have the sperm bank release their information to other donor offspring, and they also have the option to learn the donor's identity. So in Julia's case, when she did turn 18, she chose to find out if there were others out there.
And so she did find that out, and she went to meet some of them. What happened?
This was truly a fascinating journey to film and follow along. Julia, at one point in the documentary, goes to meet up with 3 of her dibblings, which is a term used to describe a donor sibling. And they all met up at a park in upstate New York. They all live in different states, and they flew into this park. And Julia had previously met one of the dibblings before. His name's George. The other 2, Mari and Samantha, she had never met. And it was really endearing to watch as they connected and hugged, and they instantly started comparing their hand sizes, and they all had pretty similar shared experiences from growing up as donor conceived children. And there was one really profound moment for me to watch as Samantha, one of her dibblings, who is a double donor conceived person, which means her mother used a donated egg and sperm to conceive her. This was the first day in her entire life that she'd ever met a blood relative. Let's take a look.
Hugging George, it was like, I don't know, a strange sort of homecoming, you know? It was like someone that I should have been hugging throughout my childhood but never did. I wish I could have told younger me about this day.
Amazing. And what about the sperm donor then? How does he fit into this story?
So the sperm donor in this case, his identification number is 1317. You learn his name in the documentary. He has already met several of the donor siblings in the past couple of years. He did meet in the film Julia's mother, Betsy, for the first time. And for Julia, this was the first time that her biological mom and dad were in the same room at the same time. And it was fascinating to see that interaction and watch as Betsy, Julia's mom, and her dad exchanged parenting tips, and to watch Julia just kind of take it all in. It was, for her, I think, a pretty surreal experience. But to hear what he has to say about it all, you'll have to watch the film.
Well, I look forward to doing so. Thanks so much for coming to tell us all about it, Hannah. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And you can watch Hannah's remarkable documentary, My Very Extended Family, on BBC World News this weekend. It'll be shown on both Saturday and Sunday at the times on your screen now.